Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I have to deliver my state, my home state of Texas, another damn L. Lord have mercy. If you look at the woman on my screen, you might think that it might be a normal person. She seems relatively small in stature, but I'll tell you guys, you can never let a book fool you by its cover. Now, I know a lot of people believe that you're not supposed to judge. I do think that you're supposed to judge. I think when you judge things, it gives us a better way to be able to maneuver through life. We judge in every facet of life. That's how our society is built. And if you look at this lady on my screen with this sunken in, look like an egg that was boiled too long, face looking ass woman here, you are not going to feel sorry. But let me tell you guys this. I'm going to say some things that are not going to sit well with your sensibilities, and this story is going to have some details that are going to shock you. So if you cannot handle that, you might need to exit, but that is your disclaimer. Let's keep going. A woman in Texas was arrested after police say that she hogtied a 1-year-old girl, hogtied, and imprisoned a 2-year-old boy in a playpen that was covered like a cage, then left both of these two very small baby toddlers and locked them in the bedroom. The individual, the dummy that you see on my screen, her name is Priscilla Ann Salais. S-A-L-A-I-S. Salais, whatever. I don't care to pronounce her name properly, but that's her name. She's 37 years 37 years old, and was taken into custody on Tuesday and charged with 2 counts of endangering a child, San Antonio ABC affiliate KSAT reported, and this is coming from lawandcrime.com. So thank you to lawandcrime.com for the article. I did get a chance to look through a number of articles, but I felt like theirs was a little bit more thorough as far as the information that was included, all right? Now, according to the report, officers with the San Antonio Police Department and firefighters on Sunday, January 9th, responded to a 911 call at a residence located at Bailey Avenue across Rigsby Avenue on the southeast side. So if y'all live in San Antonio, you might be familiar. I don't live out there in San Antonio. Never been there, so I don't know. All right. Now, the caller reportedly told the dispatcher that she needed help because her grandchildren were locked in a bedroom in the home. Grandchildren locked in a bedroom in the home. Firefighters reportedly broke down the bedroom door where they made an alarming discovery, finding 2 very dirty, filthy toddlers who appeared to have been intentionally restrained and physically abused. We've got the pictures blurred out. These children did survive. Can we put a prayer hands up in the chat for that, please? These children survived this. Y'all have to remember, these are very young babies. Very young. They are very strong children, and we're thankful that they survived this. That is an amazing blessing in itself. So in ways, this is a positive story, but let's keep telling you more of the details. A younger 3rd sibling was reportedly found at a different location with a different family member. So I'm sure some of you guys are wondering, where in the hell is the biological mother at, right? Because guess what? This broad is not the biological mother. Let me let y'all marinate on that just for a moment while I crack open my watermelon Red Bull. It seems that there is a shortage of these different flavor Red Bulls. I don't know what the hell is going on with that, but they're very hard to find now. Yes, I said that. This person is not, N-O-T, not the biological mother. And that's where this takes a twist. So you have to ask, where are the parents? Where's the biological mother? Where's the biological father? Why are the children in her custody? Why were the children in her custody so dirty and filthy over a prolonged amount of time? right? How does this happen? Well, that's the part that I think is going to really throw you guys for a loop. They said that they had to breach the door to the bedroom just to get in. Inside, they found a 1-year-old little girl who was bound by hands and feet and hog-tied. Hands behind the back, tied to the feet, if y'all are not familiar. That is a horrible thing, even if you guys have ever done that as adults or teenagers. It's not fun. Not fun at all. Hands and feet bound together. A black eye, bloody lip. San Antonio Police Chief William McManus told the Philadelphia Fox affiliate WTXF. And a little boy, a 2-year-old little boy, who was in a playpen that was covered on top, so it was like a cage. And you have to remember, they couldn't see out of it because they were hogtied. They couldn't move. Okay? Now, the playpen was reportedly covered across the top by a changing table topped with a baby carrier. Wow. This chick. Can we get a hashtag life in prison sentence? That's horrible. It was covered by a changing table, topped with a baby carrier, completely shutting the boy inside of the enclosure. McManus said that both of the young children were heavily soiled, haven't been changed, haven't been bathed, and crying when authorities found them. He added that both of them were taken into custody by the police and brought to a local hospital for medical examination before being turned over to, you guessed it, Child Protective Services. Now, why does Child Protective Services play a big role in this? Here's why. Child endangerment carries a maximum sentence of 2 years, but I'll tell you, what she did to these children is unforgivable, and that's according to Chief McManus told them while reportedly shaking his head in astonishment. 2 years seemed like nothing compared to what she did to these kids, and I agree. I think she at least needs 35 years in prison. The mother of the children only identified as Isabella. Let's talk about the biological mother. She reportedly told KSAT that Salas is her stepmother. That woman is her stepmother at age, what, 37? So it'd have to make you wonder how old this Isabella mother is with 2 small kids. I'm assuming she's probably in her younger 20s, maybe even younger than that. Salas is her stepmother. Per an affidavit obtained by the station, Isabella, the biological mother, temporarily turned over custody of her kids to that woman. And I'm sure y'all are wondering why. Y'all ready for this? She temporarily turned over custody of her kids to that woman because Isabella, the biological mother, and the children's father were being investigated by CPS over allegations of abuse. And guess what the hell they found when they found the children and busted open this house? They indeed found children that had been abused. Here's where we're going to have to make a change in Texas. And this is why Texas is pissing me off today. Because Texas has this thing called super aggravated child abuse laws, if you guys are not familiar. When children are under a certain age, I believe it's under the age of 10, the laws that are imposed on the people who murder and abuse children become greatly increased as far as their penalty. What do y'all think about the fact that you have 3 adults involved in this story between the biological mother, biological father, and this idiot on my screen? 3 people, 3 adults who played a role in the abuse of these children, and only one of them, we're only hearing about charges against one of them, and that one person, which is her, could only potentially face 24 months in jail. And we're talking about what? 85% of that? That amounts to what? 18, maybe 20 months? She hog-tied children, caged them, covered them up, beat them, starved them, didn't bathe them, leaving them to probably develop rashes and sores. Come on, have you guys ever dealt with babies and had diaper rash? Children could develop diaper rash within hours. How long were these children left like this? Matter of fact, think about this. If they already suspected abuse and found that the children were put in somebody else's home to hide the abuse, and then you go to the other home and then you find that there has indeed been abuse that this woman inflicted on her, and maybe there was more done prior to that, how are they not immediately announcing Isabella and her and the baby's father first and last name, first, middle, last name, their ages, and announcing charges against those bastards? Huh? How do we not have charges against all three of them? How does Texas not immediately jump all over this and just throw the book at them off top? Just because the kids survived? The kids only survived just because God, the man above, made these babies' bodies strong. Hello? Right? Can we get a prayer hands for that? These kids were lucky. And I don't think luck should come into the equation when it comes to the murder and abuse of children. Let's keep going. Isabella, the biological mother, reportedly told the station that she trusted this individual to take care of her kids, even though she wasn't taking care of her kids, but I digress. CPS reportedly said that Salas is not licensed as a foster parent. I was about to say that right. In the state of Texas, and was caring for the children at Isabella's request. A spokesperson for CPS reportedly told the news that police and child protective investigations were looking into the incident, and I think they need to work a bit damn faster. Asked if she had a message she wanted to share with her kids, Isabella reportedly said, "Tell them that I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I got it this far and I should have never trusted anybody with them. And I just want them to know, just want them to come home already." Well, what's the problem with her getting her kids back? They were already under investigation to begin with. And if you do nothing else, if you're not going to give them jail time, if you're not going to admonish them for putting their children in the lion's cage with this thug female lioness, the least you can do is not give them the kids back until they prove that they are worthy parents, which is why the F-word investigation was going on in the first damn place. I'm trying not to curse. I'm trying to keep it a little bit PC over here. That was the reason for the investigation from the jump. But you're going to just give the kids back, and I can almost guarantee you, if that happens, if the state of Texas does that, we're going to end up doing an update about how these children either end up with more broken limbs, more bruises, more abuse, or before these kids end up dead. These kids stand a better chance, in all actuality, in the system. They stand to be protected in the system better. And if you believe that children need to be with their parents, then here's what needs to happen. Make them take parenting classes. Give the kids 6 months. Make them take parenting classes for 6 months. They need to pass with flying colors. They also need to be drug tested on a regular basis. They also need to prove their income, prove their job, and also clear a background check. Mark those things down, Texas, bookmark it, because that's what we want to happen in this case. Those 5 things before we even bother giving them a chance to get these beautiful souls back in their house. Let me give you guys the fair usage. Let's get it in. Let's go. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And if you guys are listening to this live stream, if you would help us out, we want to have 1 thumb up for everybody that's watching. So if you'll just do us a simple favor and click that thumbs up, it'll immensely help us so YouTube can recognize it and see that more people want to hear this story. So please hit that thumbs up, okay? Here we go.
Allegedly tied up, barricaded in a playpen, and left alone. It is a case of child endangerment involving not just 1, but 2 young children.
Now, this woman, Priscilla Salais, is facing charges. First at 5, an update on that story we first told you about yesterday. 2 toddlers found in terrible conditions at a home on the southeast side.
And the woman who was supposed to be taking care of them now in custody. Our Lee Waldman, live from Public Safety Headquarters. Lee, there's been a little bit of a question about what this woman's relation to the children is.
Yes, Eliza's relationship is still unclear. We know she's not biologically related to these kids, but she was their guardian. Right now, she's facing 2 counts of child endangerment. We were there as Elias was taken into a police vehicle in handcuffs and then taken to county jail. Elias only saying to talk with her grandma and that we had the information wrong. Chief William McManus says a witness called in the information about the 2 kids found Sunday. When police got to the duplex, they forced their way inside of the bedroom. That's when they found the kids in terrible condition. A 1-year-old girl hogtied, bloody lip, and a blackened eye. A 2-year-old boy barricaded in a playpen. The chief said it was like a makeshift cage. Chief McManus saying both kids were heavily soiled.
Let me call this point out because I didn't think about that. Thank you for calling that out in the chat. And that's why we have a live chat. Somebody asked, was this maybe about money? And I didn't even think about that because I said, no, it couldn't have been about money. It's just that the parents were scared to be convicted that they were abusing their children, so they sent their children off elsewhere. But then you also have to think, so why did this lady decide to accept the children? Especially if she wasn't a foster parent, which means she was not getting any money, which means that she probably needed money to take care of kids that weren't hers, right? So maybe they paid her to take these kids, and maybe they were so broke that they didn't have enough money to pay her, and she was like, you know what? Screw these damn kids. I can almost guarantee you that's what she was thinking. It's too hard to take care of them. I'm not getting any extra money for this. Why am I doing this? So I actually agree with what you said. So thank you for calling that out. I do think that money played a role in this. What do y'all want to bet? I can almost guarantee you what y'all want to bet that the mother, the biological mother, Isabella, with her irresponsible ass, is going to put up a GoFundMe now that this story is out. What do y'all want to bet? Anybody want to bet? Want to put some money on that? Want to place a wager? Hashtag babies for benefits. Thank you. I'd almost be willing to put up a wager that we're going to see a freaking GoFundMe, and I pray that we don't, because they don't need to be compensated and using their kids like this. That's not right, man, at all. So if we see that GoFundMe, we're going to know what time it is. Y'all let me know. Just email it. My email address is theafcmatters@gmail.com. Y'all know how to hit me up if we see that GoFundMe. They not gonna see that money. Not for doing kids like this. That's not right.
But I'll tell you, for what she did to these children is, I mean, it's unforgivable. 2 years seems like nothing compared to for what she did to these children.
Chief McManus says the charges that Elias is facing, child endangerment, come with a maximum sentence of 2 years if she's
2 years. There is something so wrong with that. When you mention the words child abuse, and 2 years. Those two things don't go together in any capacity. That's not right, man.
A woman accused of tying up 2 toddlers and leaving them home alone. That woman now under arrest. The children's mother is left wondering how all of this could have happened.
The Night Team's Lee Waldman live outside of public safety headquarters. Lee, you spoke with the mother of the children.
I think you just came up with it. Thank you, Ocean Eyes. Hashtag #NoFundMe. How about that? That's I'm gonna have to borrow that from you. I'm not gonna steal it, but hashtag #NoFundMe. I like that. Matter of fact, I love that.
Children who said that arrest came as a shock.
It came as a shock because the woman arrested, Priscilla Salias, is her stepmother, and she said she trusted that woman to care for her children. As she was taken into custody, Salias kept her head down, only saying the information was wrong and to ask her grandmother. The kid's mother, Isabella, agreed to speak with us if we didn't show her face. Isabella says the kids have been with Salias since April after CPS took them out of her care and placed them into the care of Salias. Tonight, Isabella's kids are in foster care and she wishes she could share a message with them.
Tell them that I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it got this far. And that I should have never trusted anybody with them. And that I just want them to come home already.
SAPD Chief William McManus tells us his officers made the gruesome discovery Sunday at a duplex on Bailey Avenue near Rigsby after receiving a call from a witness. Officers forced their way inside of a bedroom and found a 1-year-old girl hogtied with a bloody lip and blackened eye. A 2-year-old boy barricaded in a playpen. The chief said it was like a makeshift cage. Chief McManus saying both kids were heavily soiled. According to a CPS representative, Salias is not a licensed foster care parent in the state of Texas. Salias' father, Billy, says his daughter would never hurt a child. He claims someone else did this, and Salias was watching the kids to help their mother.
And the kids that she's taken into her home out of the kindness of her heart is because that's the kind of person that she is. Now, this sensationalized version that's being, portrayed on her is totally inaccurate.
What the hell? This shaved sheep face looking ass punk. What the hell did he just say? What? Let me rewind that. Maybe I heard it wrong. This is the suspect's father. No, he did not just say that. Let's hear that again.
Licensed foster care parent in the state of Texas. Salias' father, Billy, says his daughter would never hurt a child. He claims someone else did this, and Salias was watching the kids to help their mother.
Oh my, look, let me be honest with y'all. Normally, yes, y'all heard that right. Wow. This is an examination stream. This is not a news station. I'm just a concerned father. I know some people don't like me pausing it, rewinding it, but I am a DJ. That's why I got to bring it back. Right? I am a DJ by trade. Usually, fathers and grandfathers don't defend their kids when their kids are accused or do stupid shit. Right? Most of the time. But what the hell was going on in his head? The fact that you have children, let alone your own child. I get that you care about your child and those other kids ain't hers. I understand that portion. But as a man, as a pillar of society, with your old ass, should have understood that children and little babies were taken advantage of in this situation, and your heart and your thoughts should have been with the children because your daughter's name was associated with it. But she's the only one that's charged. So clearly she did something wrong. It's impossible for her not to have known this is going on, especially when the children are hogtied and caged and smelling probably like hot trash from their diapers being soiled and sitting for so freaking long and locked inside. So she had nothing to do with that? Really? Really, dude? I'd be willing to say that to old man's face. He got this so wrong. And I am, as a man, I'll tell you like this. I am disappointed in him. How about this? As a Texan, I am very disappointed in him. I don't know where he's from. Maybe he's from Canada or something. I don't know. No disrespect to my Canadian AFC family. But he can't be from Texas. I don't know what island this fool is from, but he can't be from Texas. Because Texas men, Texas fathers don't think like that.
And the kids that she's taken into her home out of the kindness of her heart is because that's the kind of person that she is.
That's bull crap. That's total BS, right? That's total BS. I'm going to rewind it so y'all can hear that again. Sorry, Canada. My bad. Sorry, Canada. She didn't do it out of the kindness of her heart. If you look at that woman's face, she literally, let me get the picture back up on the screen. Yes, I'm about to go there. Yes, y'all know I'm a little bit abrasive, right? Let me put this face on the screen, and I want y'all to tell me that she wasn't doing this for some Percocet. Tell me she wasn't doing this for some Molly. Telling me she wasn't doing this for some Percocet. Molly Percocet. Chasing a chick. Never chasing the toddlers, I guess. When you take her mask off, you see all those craters on her face. For her to be that age, she literally looks like she's probably, like she could be married to her dad as far as that age, because he looks like he's about 60. She looks about a good 50 or 60 in the face. She has sunken in eyes tell me that she don't look like she does drugs. That's a hard habit to feel without having to have some extra income. Yes, she looked like she does some type of drugs. Just throwing it out there. But don't tell me she's not a druggie, because I know a druggie when I see one. Y'all don't think she's a druggie? Give her a damn drug test. I guarantee it, she'll fail it like she didn't study.
He claims someone else did this, and Celias was watching the kids to help their mother.
And the kids that she's taken into her home out of the kindness of her heart is because that's the kind of person that she is. Now, this sensationalized version that's being, portrayed on her is totally inaccurate.
I sure wish you would have took your decrepit ass and took a nap somewhere rather than finding time to do an interview to say something so incredibly stupid and insensitive towards children. I really wish you hadn't got up there and said that, Pops.
Meantime,
I'm totally embarrassed.
Disturbing story here. 2 toddlers found alone in a home in San Antonio. One hogtied, the other trapped in a playpen. Police have arrested the guardian in connection with the case. That's 37-year-old Priscilla Celias, is in jail right now, facing 2 counts of child endangerment. A 2-year-old boy was found in that playpen, which was covered, so essentially it was a cage. A 1-year-old girl was found hogtied with a bloody lip and a black eye. Police say Celias is not the mother of the children, but entrusted by the biological mother to care for the children temporarily. Celias had some choice words for the reporters who asked her about the case.
Y'all need to get y'all's facts straight. Y'all are releasing. Talk to my grandma.
Celias.
Sorry. Did y'all hear how she spoke to the news reporters? I'm sorry. Forgot the mic was muted. But did y'all hear how she spoke to the news reporters? Keep in mind, This is the same daughter that he was defending and saying that she wouldn't do something like this. But listen at her voice. Listen at her own words when they gave her the mic.
Salias had some choice words for the reporters who asked her about the
Real classy. Thank you.
case.
Y'all need to get y'all's facts straight. Y'all releasing. Talk to my grandma.
Asked her about the case.
Y'all need to get y'all's facts straight. Y'all releasing. Talk to my grandma.
Salias had some choice words for the reporters. Salias had some choice words for the reporters who asked her.
What did the reporters do wrong? She said, we need to get our facts straight. Well, that's the evidence that they found. You see the kids in the freaking window right there. Can y'all see that? Do y'all see that? They found the children hog-tied and caged. They kicked the door down and found the kids there. Who are they going to blame it on except for the person who lives there? And she said, our facts are wrong. And this is why I always think that something is wrong with people when they say that you don't have all the facts. You weren't there. But then they refuse to tell us what really happened. Y'all ever notice that? You ever realize how stupid is as stupid does, Lieutenant Dan? Right? They won't tell us what actually happened, but tell us we don't know anything except for what we found, what we saw, what we had pictures of, and what we have evidence of, which we can prove in court. But somehow, we's don't know what we's talking about, huh?
Asked her about the case.
Y'all need to get y'all's facts straight. Y'all releasing. Talk to my grandma.
Salias is being held in jail on a $75,000 bond. Officials say the children will be placed in a safe location and will never go back to Salias. Politics. House Minority.
Top story at 6, toddlers found tied up and abandoned at a southeast side home. Then just minutes later, a man was shot unrelated a few houses away. People who live on Bailey Avenue are having a hard time believing what happened on their block. Eyewitness News reporter Sue Calbert explains how it all went down.
Yeah, you're gonna be like a really tiny kid.
Listen to what police said when they got to Bailey Avenue near I-37 and South New Braunfels Avenue Sunday afternoon. There are kids alone, tied up.
It says that the children are all tied up.
Look at the side of that house. The side of that house looks like a wet paper towel. Sheesh, man. I know it's hard out there for a pimp when you're trying to get your money for the rent. I get it, but damn. That house looks like it's about to fall apart on the sides.
They're locked in a bedroom and they're not able to get them out.
Neighbors didn't want to comment on camera, but privately they had plenty to say after they watched police scour this house, including the crawl spaces underneath, after they recovered 2 toddlers and were searching for a baby that was said to be missing. CPS says the baby was later found safe, and EMS says one child was taken to a hospital to be checked out. So with police right here in the street, they hear a blast of gunfire just a few houses down.
There was a lot of gunshots over here in the neighborhood.
With EMS rolling up, they say a man raced up to that ambulance and begged for help. Police say that 23-year-old victim told them he was driving down South Pine when a passing car started shooting. Posts on the next door.
Damn. There are 20 plus shell casings out there. Do y'all see? Right down the street. Wow. Do y'all see that? I'm counting on the screen, and the biggest number I see right now is 20. 20 shell casings from 20 rounds that was shot right down the street from where they were digging out 2 kidnapped and caged children. Thugs with guns.
app showed dozens of evidence markers littering the streets.
It was so fast and explosive. It was a sound like I've never heard before.
Police haven't released any information about the suspect or the vehicle involved. And
she's in there. This woman is so cool. She's sitting there doing an interview right by the bullet hole. Man, I swear, I think these news people are really actually comedians. I really believe it. They be filming people's toes and just the weirdest stuff. Like filming people as they're walking away, showing you how big and wide they are, how ridiculous they look sometimes. The questions that they ask. I really believe that they're comedians, man. But let's keep going. A couple more videos.
New details today in the case of two toddlers found tied up in a Bexar County backyard. We're hearing from the attorney of the father of those two children, who says his client is devastated by what happened. A court advocate says the children now want to eat 24/7, trying to make up for the time.
Let me let y'all hear that again.
A court advocate says the children now want to eat 24/7.
Let's back that up like a U-Haul truck.
By what happened. A court advocate says the children now want to eat 24/7.
What does that mean? That means that they were starving the children. So you would have to ask yourself, when did the biological mother Isabella drop these children off? Count that time frame and ask yourself, how long were these children being starved? Because they were being starved, and they were probably about to be starved to death.
Trying to make up for the time when they had no food at all.
In a crowded courtroom, the mother of the two toddlers asked if the children could visit her in jail, a request the judge denied. On April 29th, Bexar County Sheriff's investigators found the children tied up in the backyard of a northeast Bexar County home. They had broken bones.
I think that's a different story. I'll cut that one out. I don't think that was the right one. Let's go to this one.
Police make an arrest after two toddlers were found tied up and caged inside a playpen in southeast San Antonio. San Antonio police say they found the children after conducting a welfare check at a duplex on Bailey Avenue near Piedmont Sunday afternoon. Officers issued an arrest warrant, and today the children's temporary guardian was taken into custody. Police say when they found the children, a 1-year-old girl, she was found with both her feet and hands tied. She also reportedly had a black eye and bloody lip. A 2-year-old boy was also found inside a playpen. Both children were crying and soiled.
But I'll tell you, for what she did to these children it's unforgivable. 2 years seems like nothing compared to what she did to these children.
Child Protective Services took the two children into custody. The woman faces 2 counts of child endangerment.
I wish they would have played in all of those news clips what that woman had to say as she was walking off, talking about y'all need to get y'all facts straight and y'all don't know what y'all talking about, cursing out the news people. Well, ma'am, accepting those children that you couldn't take care of was a choice. First and foremost, nobody forced this on her. Okay, maybe they were plucking on your heartstrings. Maybe you felt bad, or especially if you look at the condition of the house, that house is cracked. She looked like she smoked crack. She probably needed crack money, right? So I'm assuming that she probably thought this was going to be a short-term thing. I'll take this money, watch these kids, and then realize, oh crap, these parents have dumped these children off on me. I don't want these children, and I got crack to go smoke. Then her dad comes out to come speak on her behalf. That's disgusting. And I'm disgusted the fact that that man even lives in my state. I'd rather push him off on somebody else's state. I don't know which one of y'all and what state that y'all would accept him in, but I don't want him out here in Texas. I'm sorry. That's a horrible mentality, but clearly you can see why his daughter makes bad decisions, because it comes from her dad and her parents. They bred a horrible mentality that you don't hold her accountable like she's infallible. If you don't know what infallible means, it's simply just saying that you don't hold someone accountable and then they grow up to think that anything that they do, nothing that they do is wrong. It seems like she don't think anything she did was wrong. She played no role in this. But for that reason, I think people like that are dangerous. They shouldn't be around kids. They shouldn't be around in our society. They shouldn't be allowed to drive cars. They shouldn't be allowed to be in bars. They shouldn't be allowed to work. They need to be in jail or put them on a different planet where they can live out the rest of their life. But I don't like them being in our society. That's a very dangerous thing. Shout out to these children, these beautiful, strong kids. Couldn't show their faces. These children are still alive. I'm glad that they're thriving. But definitely before the parents even attempt to get these kids back, they need to be put through the ringer. 6 months. They need to be in parenting classes. They need to be drug tested. They need to have make sure that they have jobs, stable income, and background checks. It's one more that I'm missing because I named 5 things, but y'all know my memory is not that good. If I was a crayon, I'd probably be a navy blue because I'm not the brightest crayon in the box. But one thing I know as a father, that I would never stand for this, and I would absolutely put my foot on their proverbial neck in court to make sure that she gets something 10 times more than 2 years and probably less than that. That's just not enough for treating our children like that. And I think that us as Americans, we need to stand on that and stand up for our babies. Very simple thing we can do and get these laws changed to be even stronger for our babies. Thank y'all for listening to the story with an open mind as well as an open heart. Thank you.